Good morning, thanks for tuning in to Mx24. In the next 15 minutes, we'll bring you updates of the day's top stories. My name is Eledi, Jonah. To our first story, some beneficiaries of government's flagship program, the Nation Builders Corps, NAPCO, say they will join the Yintia demo being organized by the NDC Youth Wing against the e-levy. The patron of the aggrieved beneficiaries, Nana Berima Asamoah, says government owes them in arrears of 6 months and they feel manipulated and neglected. The protest is scheduled for Thursday.
Episode of incessant public ridicule on a factual ground that after we were compelled to avail ourselves as power horses and bulldogs in canvassing vote for the MPP to renew its mandate, we have been left in limbo. For 6 solid months, it is unprecedented. We are perishing in extreme hunger and privation. Again, the government promised to integrate X into the permanent mainstream job has now dissipated into an unpredictable promise of migrating us into a youth start program yet to be launched, which the scheme was never encapsulated to entertain such decision like that. In fact, we are displeased with the government. As we speak now, we are here on a solid ticket of the party's recognition of our grievance and their commitment to help us surcharge the government and hold Nanado's government accountable. We are very, very aggressive now as NAPCO trainees. As we speak now, there are ongoing massive employment in all the public sectors, but NAPCO trainees are segregated. Government keep creating smoke screen and foggy situation before the public that NAPCO trainees have been employed, which is a justifiable fallacy.
Today, a group of concerned mobile network subscribers and possibly thousands of Ghanaians have refused to use their mobile phones until 12 noon in protest of the ongoing SIM registration exercise. The protest, led by former Kumbungu MP Ras Mubarak, journalists Samson Ladi Ayenene and Manasseh Azuri Awuni, argue that the exercise is illegal and an infringement of their property rights. The group is also demanding the National Communication Authority to halt the exercise. Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata, says government intends to convert all abandoned toll booths into washrooms and in various parts of the country. According to the minister, this is to ensure that motorists don't have to ease themselves indiscriminately. His comments follow calls by the National Road Safety Authority to remove non-functioning toll booths to prevent accidents.
Safety departments. So I have director of safety, in our all the agencies. So safety issues are key, and Ghana National Road Safety Authority, we work with them hand in hand, and we will know it. If you listen to the news reportage, they even indicated that from their interaction with us, they realized that we ourselves had even taken that step already. We know it, So at the appropriate time, we are going to take them out, and we have alternative use for all the 38 or so toll booth centers across the country, because we have plans for all those who were working in the toll booths. Okay, we are going to continue to work with them, and we have come out with a lot of suggestions. We even want to refurbish all those toll booth structures to provide proper and decent washrooms, for instance, for the use by motorists.
Deputy Finance Minister Abna Osei Asare has touted government's commitment to passing the tax exemptions bill. Last year, government granted exemptions worth over 2 billion Ghana cedi, a figure the Deputy Minister admits is high. She says the bill has been submitted to Parliament and hopes Parliament will pass it before the end of this sitting. She made this known before the Public Accounts Committee on Monday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, it is of great concern to government, and government is doing something about it. Mr. Chairman, this house is a house of records, so I just want to clarify something before I move on. And the issue of a tax exemption to the tune of about 5.5 billion, that is incorrect. Every year we publish the tax exemption amount in the budget. So when you go into the budget, it is clear, it is stated there. And for last year, it is around 2.4 billion. Even that one, we know it's high. But I just want to set the record straight that there has never been a time in our budget where we have reported tax exemptions to the tune of 5.5 billion. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, it is true that we have submitted the bill to Parliament. We are in engagement with the Finance Committee, and we hope that before sitting ends, we would have gone through the bill. And so, Mr. Chairman, be rest assured that once we have submitted it, there are a few things we are working on with the AG's office and the Finance Committee. And the chairman of the Finance Committee has also made it known to us that we're looking for the opportune time to go off-site to look at it and then send a report to Parliament, and then we can look at the bill and take it clause by clause. Thank you.
The minister also disclosed that government is yet to take a decision on the 50% benchmark value policy, as engagements are still ongoing.
The discount, the benchmark revenue, the discount which you have removed, gone back again, giving discounts on the benchmark revenue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we said we were going into a stakeholder consultation with all the parties. So once we are done with that, government will go ahead with some modifications on the benchmark values.
So what is the current situation now?
As I speak to you today, we have another engagement with one of the very important stakeholders. And so after...
what system are you applying now? Are you giving out the discount now or...
Mr. Chairman, we would want to finish the discussions with the stakeholders. We have one at 3 p.m. today. So once we are done, we will...
If somebody is paying for an import today, and that item fall under the benchmark revenue list, what rates would the person pay?
Mr. Chairman, currently as we speak, we haven't touched it. But after the consultation, government will come out with a position. So, like I said, we're meeting one of the very important stakeholders today. And but as we speak now, it is same. We haven't touched it.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has imposed a fine of $6 million on Maxam Company Limited following the explosion at Apiate, which claimed 13 lives and left dozens injured. In a press release signed by the sector minister, Samuel Abu Jinapo, quote, Maxam shall pay the fine of $1 million or 8 cedi equivalent at the prevailing commercial rate before the restoration of its permit to manufacture, store, supply, or transport explosives, unquote. Maxam is also expected to pay the remaining $5 million in 18 equal monthly installments beginning March 1, 2022. Let's now head to Insawam in the Eastern region, where one person is currently battling for his life at the Insawam Government Hospital after a fatal crash yesterday which resulted in the death of 4 others. The accident involved an articulated truck veering off the road after its brake failed, causing it to crash into 3 taxis and some traders along the stretch. Let's get onto the phone lines and speak to our Eastern Regional Content Manager, Evans Kujo, for some updates. Well, we'll bring you updates of this story in our subsequent bulletin. But moving on, Chief Executive Officer of the Trade Crop Development Authority, William Kwetu, has noted that the cashew production regulatory policy, when passed, will sustainably increase productivity in cashew farming. He was speaking at the maiden annual conference of the Progressive Association of Ghana.
Many people going around having cashew seedlings and then going out with their bell on it, selling cashew seedlings. Very soon, it will be a thing of the past. Very, very soon, nobody will be able to go out there and just pull a bell on cashew seedlings and be going around, more cashew seedlings or more cashew seedlings. So without authorization, you cannot do that. If you are found to do that and you have no certification, of course, you will be arrested.
Meanwhile, the Indian High Commissioner to Ghana, His Excellency Sagand Rajaram, says his government is willing to pump over $1 billion to support infrastructural growth in Ghana. He was speaking to the media at the commencement of his 5-day working visit to the Bono East region. The High Commissioner also emphasized the need to strengthen the relationship between India and the Bono East region to harness the economic prospects between the two countries.
We also extended more than $1 billion of buyer's credit for the infrastructure companies from India taking the big infrastructure projects in Ghana. But when we come out of pandemic, we like to see that our priorities for cooperation focus on the needs of the day, which have been highlighted by this pandemic, towards sustainable growth and development. We like to see that agriculture and rural development becomes our priority. We see that renewable energy development, irrigation, sanitation, health, education become our priorities. In this regard, my visit to the region becomes very significant. In the next 5 days, I will be interacting with cross-section of the society, including political authorities, the business authorities, the health educational authorities, social cultural authorities, to see that what would be the areas, concrete areas, for us to work together in the months and years to come.
Well, we go back to our earlier story about the unfortunate incident that occurred in Nsawam yesterday, where an articulated truck crashed some vehicles that were moving along the stretch of the road. We have been joined by our content manager for the Eastern region, Mr. Kujo, for more on this. Hello, sir, and welcome to Mx24. What's the latest on this story?
Well, just as you said earlier, as of this morning, the death toll has risen to 5, and all the 5 bodies are currently at the Nsawam government hospital awaiting autopsy. We have some 12 others who are also battling for their lives. The Member of Parliament for the area, Honorable Frank Anodompre, visited the scene yesterday, and then he sent his words of condolence to the bereaved family, and then also sent well wishes to the persons that are battling for their lives. The Eastern Regional Police PRO, DSP Ebelezatete, has hinted that the driver of the said vehicle, they are on manhunt for him. They are really searching for him because he needs to face the law. So as I speak with you currently, the Eastern Regional Police Command, for that matter, the police itself is searching tightly for the driver of the said vehicle. So As we speak now, the death toll has risen to 5.
So how about the injured, those who were taken to the hospital? Do you know what their condition is?
Yeah, I spoke to one of the officials of the Inform Government Hospital, and according to him, they are duly responding to treatment. But as I said earlier, the death toll was 4 as at yesterday, but this morning, one has also died, and then the death toll has risen to 5.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kujo, for the updates. We would re-establish contact in our subsequent bulletins for the very latest on this story. But that's it for today's news updates. For more news, log on to www.mx24online.com. My name is Jonah Eledi. Good afternoon.